So all that to say, I don't want to be dismissive at all of the questions that were brought up, and we took some time to meet with them and talk about it. But I think from our perspective, and again, Mr. Lewis, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm leaving anything out, that that A, there aren't a lot of options, and the other options that exist are not feasible, and that B, we don't want to hold the project up because that either means holding up Village Hall or holding up the rescue squad relocation, and they're both moving forward. And see that even with the building there, that it does not that street and that area is not the place that we're focusing on development, and that even if we do build a building there, that's not going to prevent development at that point in the future.
Then I would ask that we make sure we let the development committee be involved in the design of it, or reviewing it before we make a final decision, because they did have some thoughts and ideas.
Reviewing what?
Of the rescue squad.
The building's already been designed by the rescue squad. I mean, we've already. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to be dismissive, but I don't understand why they'd be interested in designing a rescue squad.
They have architectural experience and they have development experience, so I think that they could give some input into the way that the building is. And
I want to make something.
I don't want to speak for them on how the building, should be or shouldn't be, but I don't want to dismiss their ideas at all.
No, we shouldn't dismiss their ideas, but we're also paying architects, and their advice is not going to replace that. So we're going to have to pay the architects to design the building anyway. I have no problem soliciting people's feedback, but I want to be very, very clear that this is not going to get held up at all. We've discussed this to an incredible length, gone over things over and over again. I don't think there's any uncertainties about the decision that we're making.
Well, where has it been discussed? I guess I'm just not, where did this start? Where has it been in terms of what process
hasn't
in
been
terms
discussed
of
as a
our
board, as a
committees
whole.
or
Yeah,
boards?
we've discussed it here in board meetings.
So there is consensus amongst the Board of Trustees?
We've discussed it here in board meetings. We've discussed it with our redevelopment attorney and with the rescue squad. And with Jonathan Rose, who is
where did the board end up on this issue, I guess? Because we're still new to it. We're seeing recommendations.
Right, well, I mean, the same way that the board is not involved in the day-to-day operations of deciding how the village hall is going to be renovated. They're not involved in, which window goes where and the requirements of the building of the rescue squad. What the board will be involved in and what I think is appropriate is when the design is pretty much finalized, that if the board needs to approve it, then they should approve it, because at the end of the day, we're spending money on this building. The board has to approve where that money's going. But I personally don't think that that's the board's purview or responsibility to design from the beginning municipal building. I don't think the board has ever done that.
No, certainly it has. You set specs for it, where you build consensus from not only the people in the rescue squad, but the board members, the development committee, before you begin the process of doing drawings and whatnot, because what you do is you end up wasting time and money. If a firm comes up with something, says Board of Trustees, yay or nay, we're like, well, we weren't even involved from the front end of this. What if we don't like those drawings?
Well, but that's what I'm saying is the drawings, I mean, we've discussed them here in the board meetings before.
He's shaking his head.
Yeah, they had it up on the projector. We discussed it here. I mean, we're not going to discuss whether we discussed it, because we did. And if you don't remember, then you don't remember. But the bottom line is we did discuss it. Jonathan Rose came in. They put a floor plan up on a presentation screen.
Yeah, but that was a sketch. It wasn't anything near a final plan, and it wasn't based on the location. It was based on any number of locations.
Yeah, and we've discussed the locations. I mean, how long do we want to drag these projects out?
I didn't ask to drag it out. I said if we're going to stick to the Second Street location, I asked that we let the development committee, which has a couple of architects and downtown developers, look at the plans and see if they can come up with suggestions to a better way. And by the way, one of the architects on the development committee happens to work for the company that's working for Jonathan Rose to design the building. So it's like he's there anyway. So it's not going to delay anything.
And it did appear like there was no designs or anything at the last time we had a development
and he said he
meeting.
hadn't done them yet.
Yeah, that there was nothing done yet. So why would we not allow the development?
I don't understand.
It's only been sketches. There's been no
architect. The architect has not been hired yet to design the building, but we put concept sketches together.
No, what there are